Hey guys, El Flamingo here, and Mastodon,
Master,
stinky
what's
cunt.
going on, guys?
Uh,
What's going on?
Today we're going to look through each team in the Sandbox Draft League Season 3, New Bark Division. And yeah, how you feeling about your draft, Masto?
I feel alright about it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It's probably the worst draft I've ever seen.
Yeah, valid actually. I heard the division agreed, but I'll try and justify myself. I swear.
All right, well, we're just getting stuck into it. We're going to start at the first pick, which was Ryan from what's his team called? The Schmoove and Shroomish.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And go through each of his picks, see what we think. So his first pick was Munchlax from Tier 1. Tier 2s, Venonat and Meowth Galar. Tier 3, Hatena and Snubble. Tier 4, Picky Peck Slugma. Then he went Tier 2, Zorua. Tier 2, Shootle. Tier 3, Voltorb, Hisui. And Tier 3, Gimmighoul. So what's your first impressions of this team?
It's honestly not too terrible. Munchlax, obviously, a phenomenal Pokemon. Kind of just like has a lot of its stats sort of like min max because of its low base 5 speed.
Yeah.
So it'll be the slowest thing in the metagame. With backed of good bulk, paired with a good support Pokemon in Venonat as well. And a very solid Trick Room setter in Hatena with Magic Bounce, being able to block like any taunts and stuff that come its way.
Yeah, having that Magic Bounce just makes stuff a lot easier for him. I also quite like the Snubble on his team. The fact that Munchlax, we know, has a lower defense stat, just being able to intimidate stuff, also makes like a good pivot in to fighting attacks.
Yeah, I've just noticed there's actually quite a sizable amount of pivots into fighting moves. You've got your quad resistant, your Venonat, you've got your psychic type, your fairy type, and you got your Gimmighoul. Even though it's not too bulky, the roaming form, it's still a fighting immunity, and fighting types are obviously going to be something that people are going to need, especially to deal with like the Munchlax.
100%.
So it's covered for that quite well.
Very well.
While also having the slowest Pokemon, but also at the same time having the fastest and Voltorb.
yeah. No, he's done well there to sort of split up his speed tiers, and they're not like it's like quite decent gaps between them. Sometimes teams will have them all bunched up one end and bunched right down the other, and so everything in the middle you kind of don't need to worry about, like just trying to speed creep. But he's got 5, 20, 30, 39, 40, 45. Bit of a jump to 65, and then it's still spread out from there, 80s to 100s. So I think he's got a good spread of speeds that make you sometimes have to choose to go plus speed nature or try and just speed creep those semi-fast options at the 65s. And really good Trick Room mode. Like the fact that he's got a base 5 and a base 20. I don't know how much damage Slugma does. Do we know what Slugma's stats are? Is it shit?
I think it's like 60 or 70 special attack. So like it's got one decent stat.
You're kidding.
So
you are kidding?
No,
really?
No.
Man, the things you learn.
I'm gonna fact check it now because I was looking at it when I was doing my draft plan after looking for a fire type, but decided that it wasn't it for us.
Shit, it does.
But yeah, it's
base 70. Fuck me dead.
Yeah, so like.
It
doesn't really have any sort of like good setup options. I don't think its special move pool is too wide either.
No.
It gets your fire move, earth power, ancient power, clear smog.
No shell smash, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest thing. I guess if you're really after some coverage, you've got Terra Blast as well. Just neutral base 80 move is not a waste of work to have.
I think there's going to be a few Pokemon, despite us being in the non-Terra Draft League, that is still going to have to take on Terra Blast. I know I have one that's probably going to have to do that. But yeah, in terms of options, it's quite
decent support options as well, because like it's got like Yawn. Like Yawn's always annoying to deal with.
Correct.
It has its own recovery and recover. It gets like Curse and Amnesia.
Yeah, it's got Pain Split. What's its HP like? 40? Like that could be an option as well. Pain Split's quite annoying.
Yeah, so cheeky bit of value there.
Yeah.
From tier 4.
I think when I was making the tier list, I think I just saw 250 base stat total and just didn't even look any further than that and chucked it in. But But with fucking base 70 special attack, that is pretty nutty. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to do a bit of damage. Like, even just the specs. Yeah. Like, specs in Trick Room, like, that'll hurt. That'll hurt a lot.
Does it get that, because he's actually got... Does it get Lava Plume? Yeah, it does get Lava Plume. Because you can also do, like, telepathy shit, too. With the...
Oh, with Hatenna.
With Hatenna. So that could be an interesting sort of potential mode for him.
That'll be good to play around stuff like that Bramble Ghast, because if they expect you to have Heat Wave and you just drop the Lava Plume.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, Wind Rider ain't bypassing that one.
All right, let's go over to the tier list. So I was telling Masto before that I'm just incredibly lazy. Didn't want to come up with a new tier list. So to tier the teams, we're going by their compulsory tier 1 pick. So Ryan's compulsory tier 1 pick was the Munchlax. So, this is how stupid I am. I just tried to use OBS to put something on the tier list instead of the actual fucking window. What a spanner. Okay.
Oh, dear.
I actually think this is probably one of the higher placed teams. I would be taking into consideration the support this team has, the newfound power that this team has, fucking Slugma, and the spread out speed stats. I would be quite happy to put this in S and then revisit it later. How would you feel about that?
That seems pretty valid. I also want to point out one thing as well that we didn't discuss. The other tier 4 Picky Peck, that's 65 speed, 75 attack. So he's fucking done well with those tier 4s.
Shit, he has too. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I think just Munchlax in general, easy in the S for the time being. Like, yeah, that thing's going to be an absolute nightmare to go against.
Yeah. All right. So we can come back as we see what the other teams like, and if we like those teams more, we can move it around. All right. So we're going on to the number 2 pick, which is Wakeman and his team, the Grand Rapids Gibbles. And he has gone... So, Season 1 of the Sandbox Draft League, he was in the Dynamax division, and he took Mudbray then as well. But I think beyond that, I don't think there's any other Pokemon from that team that are in this draft. He also took Wiglet last season. So, he's doing some runbacks there. So, he's got the Mudbray, the Drowsy, the Salandit, the Bramblin. Oh, there we go. Bramblin, right there. Lava Plume, that motherfucker. Geodude, Alola, Cleffa, Snorunt, Shellos, Doduo, Poochyena, and Wiglet. What do we think of this team? First thing I like to look at is speed tiers. It's almost as spread out as Ryan's team. It goes from 95 in the Wiglet to 15 in the Cleffa. And look, let's face it, this is a Mudbray team. This is made so Mudbray can do the things.
This is Mudbray's the president, and everything else is just looking to protect it and serve it.
Yes. So I think in Season 1 of Sandbox, I had he had Mudbray, and Lileep. He had Mudbray and Lileep. So he's had Mudbray with Storm Drain before. So I think Shellos, great pick here to go with that Mudbray. Yeah. He's got Drowsy for Trick Room and Doduo for Tailwind. Like, it's base 75 speed, and I think outside of Prankster or Galewind's Tailwind setters, I think it may be the fastest Tailwind setter. That's actually something I'm probably going to have to...
Yeah, I think it might be. I'll check that now, actually.
Yeah, you're a fact checker guy.
All right, keep rambling on while I'm checking.
So some of the other picks that I quite like we both had Snorunt in Season 1 of Sandbox Draft League, and I've had Snorunt several times. Just the fact that it gets moody just means there's potential for it to absolutely fuck your opponent, but at the same time, there's also potential for it to fuck you over too.
So, I was going to say, I've been on the opposite end, because in Sandbox during first season, I dropped it.
No, you traded it to me for Goomy or some shit.
I did get rid of it because it was absolute trash, and I hated it, and it was bad, and it stunk, and that's why I didn't win. But nonetheless, Wingull is actually the fastest baby tailwind user. Doduo is second though.
What the hell is Wingull's speed? Like base 80 or something?
It's 85, but its stats don't exist anywhere else.
No, then it's straight 10s across the board.
Where like Doduo's got an 85 attack to back with it.
Yeah. So one of the things I really like on this team, clearly there's a strong Trick Room mode with the Drowsy as a setter, Mudbray. I actually really like Solandodon Trick Room drafts because it's really good at helping you set Trick Room up. The fact that it has Oblivious and Overheat, and there's a little item called a Jack Pack.
A Jack Pack.
It's something I pretty much use every time I've drafted Salander in Little Cup. It's just super freaking consistent at helping you get Trick Room up. It dies, or you get an Overheat off and you get a free switch out. Super slow in Trick Room. I'm actually really looking forward to this Alolan Geodude. The fact that it's base 20 speed, I want to see it go boom on things. Particularly next to that Mudbray. I think that would be funny as fuck.
You can boom next to the Mudbray.
I don't really know what Poochyena does. It doesn't get Intimidate, but it's a Dark type. Does it get Quick Feet?
I feel like I'm fairly certain it does get Quick Feet. It might just be like the Dark type slot because Dark types are generally pretty nice to have.
Yeah. If it gets Quick Feet, I think that's pretty good. Is it a plus?
Yeah, it gets
+1 or a +2?
Yeah, Quick Feet. Yeah, +1 boost while status,
and
paralysis drops ignored as well.
It's base 35 speed. I don't know how good that does with Quick Feet.
Yeah, stats are sort of just like very kind of but like its move pool is actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it does have lots of coverage.
Yeah, it's a Taunter, it's a Yawner, it's got like Scyfangs for like screens. It gets Helping Hand. It gets like Super Fang, and Endeavor.
Okay.
Some alright stuff, but
yeah,
we'll see how it's backed up with those stats. But I see Wakeman making it work.
I see the 3 Horsemen of the Apocalypse go pretty much every Little Cup draft league, and that being Cleffa, Igglybuff, and Happiny. So he's picked up one of the 3 Horsemen.
Yep.
Just the fact that it gets Frengard and the move pools are fucking nutty. The fact that they're sort of like residual Gen 1 syndrome, even though they're not from Gen 1, where it's just the normal types from then just learned every fucking move possible.
All the moves.
All the moves. Outside of that, like Bramblin plus Doduo, that's a pretty cool combo. With the
fast Tailwind getting that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Wiglet, it's definitely in existence.
Yeah, good bit of pace. I think it's got some decent offensive stats as well. Like
50?
Attack mainly.
50 or 55, I think it is. It's the same as Diglett.
Actually not the worst, to be honest.
Yeah, especially in Little Cup. So, in terms of like support, like he doesn't have redirection like Ryan's team, but does have the very fast fake out. Probably one of the best fake outers for Trick Room. How do we think we rate this team? Like, and the fact that it's got Mudbray, like Mudbray's just a fucking boost.
I reckon it's high. I don't think it's higher than Ryan's though.
No. I think depending on how the lists play out, I think it's either going to be top of A or bottom of S. Because we've already got one in S so far, and we want it to be generally a tier list should look like a bell curve. A bell end curve because it's sideways. We'll put it in A for now, but we will I think come back to it at the end and see where we're at. Next, we have I think we spoke about
the Ollie's team.
Right? Ollie's team. We spoke about this a few times. You asked me, "What's Ollie doing?" I said, "Don't worry about what Ollie's doing. No one knows what Ollie's doing except for Ollie." And because he often gets lots of type overlaps when he drafts, but then he still fucking kills it in draft league. So his number one pick being the Magby. Tier 2 is Cutiefly and Totodile. Tier 3 Skidoo and Seal. Tier 4s Swablu and Barboach. And then he's gone Tier 2 Bulbasaur, Tier 1 Meditite, and then 2 Tier 4s in Sawaddle and Cosmog. So whoever plays Ollie, you're going to have to select Reg G rules if he brings Cosmog. So, how are we going speed tiers wise? I think these speed tiers are a lot more compressed than the previous two teams.
They are much more compressed. The slowest thing being the Cosmog.
Yeah.
That's at 37.
So that's what's it get? Splash and teleport? Is that the extent of its moves?
Splash and teleport are Cosmog's 2 moves.
So let's scratch that one for now. So his slowest Pokemon's base 42.
I mean, you theoretically could use Cosmog as like a teleport pivot with like Rocky Helmet. I mean,
that's true. It's been done before in Reg G. With Cosmoem.
Oh, but that thing it's significantly bulkier. Like and it gets cosmic power too, which Cosmog unfortunately doesn't get that luxury.
So,
but we can write it off. We can write it off for the meantime, and if it pops off, it pops off, I guess.
Actually, we have the second fastest Tailwind user here in Cutiefly. If Wingull at base 85 is the fastest, Cutiefly's base 84. So Doduo pushed down another notch to the third fastest.
I searched flying and not Tailwind.
So this is probably the best team in the entire league because he has 2 Perish Song users, and that's my thing. But no, outside of, as per usual, I am not 100% sure on what this team's trying to achieve. Obviously win, but how it goes about doing that, I'm not sure. His trick room... Yeah, what's that?
I was going to say, I think I got a good answer. Just lead you 2 tier 1s.
Yeah, just punch things with Meditite while Magby protects it.
Meditite.
Yes, that seems to be the probably best mode to go down, I think, with this team. His Trick Room setter is Meditite, and I guess he's got Fake Out support and Seal as well. So he's got that going. 2 Fake Out mons. And then he's also got Follow Me as well, so that's a thing too. But I think he's definitely got one of the best Tailwind setters in Cutiefly. The fact that it has, what's that ability? Shield Dust? Shield Dust. So it's not getting faked out, is kind of nutty. I think I had that in Season 1, but I didn't have Tailwind back then, so I had to deal with like String Shot and stuff.
Yuck.
like he's got some... I had Skiddo last season in Sandbox, and I had it with Flabebe, and I would Petal Blizzard next to it to get attack boost, and that was a pretty good combo. Bulbasaur gets Petal Blizzard, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Bulbasaur should, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's a combo he can go down the path of using. Maybe Cutiefly gets Absorb or something like that, I'm not sure. So that he could do that with Skiddo. Totodile just hits hard. It's got that sheer force. It's an Ollie team. I don't know. He's just gonna fucking dunk on people with it. That's his modus operandi.
Valid.
Yeah, have people not know what you're doing and fuck them up anyway. Let's have a look at tier list. So I think this one, I'm probably gonna put in B tier. Like, it's got some really good options. They've got lots of typing overlap. The sort of speed tiers are compressed. So I think I'm quite happy putting it in B tier. What do you feel about it?
I hate when he made me bounce so low, because that was like, if I was pick one, like, I was always going to go Magby.
Yeah.
But I think for now, just at face value, I think B seems comfortable.
Yep.
But I mean, Ollie can prove us wrong. Ollie can prove us wrong as to why.
Oh no, he will. He it's not a he can. It's he will.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. We got Toxic next. Toxic has a really cool combo. He's got the Grookey Drifloon. Grookey being his tier 1, Drifloon and Krogunk being his tier 2s, Flabebe Blitzel tier 3, Happiny and Arrokuda tier 4. and then Cyndaquil tier 2, Clauncher tier 2, Sandile tier 3, and Tarantula tier 4. So Tailwind, he's got the fastest.
Fastest with the Unburden up.
Fastest with the Unburden outside of the Prankster boys.
Yeah. Immune to Fake Out as well.
Yeah. And obviously he's got Grookey to proc that.
Yep.
Croagunk, I think, is really good as one of those sort of support and offensive options. Either hit hard with stab at plus coverage or use your taunt, helping hand, fake outs, upper hands, coaching, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
I mentioned the Flabebe before. It just sits there on the special side and doesn't die. Doesn't take physical hits too well, but special side, it's kind of nutty. And it gets Pollen Puff too. I'm a huge fan of Pollen Puff. I think that's such a good move.
Pollen Puff's a nice pull for it to have.
Yeah. And so it gives him like good sort of support, but you can't be taunted with Pollen Puff.
And it's good supporting that Grookey as well, actually. Like, its ability stops what, like stat drops?
Oh yeah, correct. Oh, I forgot about that ability. Yeah. Not Symbiosis. The other one.
Flower Veil?
Yeah, Flower Veil, that was it. And that's why it also paired really good with Skiddo.
Yeah.
Blitzel also works really well with this team. He's got double water plus that Drifloon. So electrics all of a sudden become a lot harder.
Ooh, yeah, lightning rod.
To maneuver,
yeah, true.
To maneuver around. Oh, wait a sec. Fuck me. He's got Sap Sipper on Blitzel too. Oh, this team's looking more retarded the more I look at it. Then he's got another of the three horsemen of the apocalypse, being Happiny. Arrokuda, not as fast as its Barrascuda brethren, but just the fact that you cannot be redirected potentially means it could be a useful Pokemon. Cyndaquil, Eruption. The end.
Yeah, that's an Eruption machine.
Move on. Clauncher does huge special damage. Also fairly slow to give him sort of the Trick Room option. Unfortunately, his Drifloon is taking a lot of the speed control for this team. Like, what's his other Tailwind setter? What's his other Trick Room setter? It has to do both.
I didn't think Drifloon learned Trick Room. I don't think there's a Trick Room option on this team.
It's just Drifloon that gets Trick Room now.
I didn't think either did.
Yeah, this generation.
I'm checking. I'm checking. Hang on.
This generation, Drifloon definitely did.
If they got it this gen. Oh, it does get it. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that was recently added this generation.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so like it's doing all the heavy lifting for that dominant speed control. There's a whole bunch of things with Icy Wind, but in terms of
Drifloon,
Drifloon being that other one,
Drifloon and Arrokuda, and I think Blitzel with Electro Web, maybe.
Yeah. What about does Happiny get Icy Wind? I assume it does.
Oh yeah, Gen 1 normal type offspring. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So, I think once you know what Drifloon wants to do, I think it'll just be a little bit easier to sort of work around that. Okay, Drifloon wants to set Tailwind. I'm going Trick Room. Drifloon wants to do Trick Room. Okay, I know how to stop that. I think Drifloon's going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting this season. Sandile's pretty good. I was looking at getting Sandile, but he got it before me. Intimidate. We did have it at Tier 2 last season, but it's just so shit compared to the Tier 2 Intimidators, and it is much more on par with the Tier 3 Intimidators. Tier 2 Intimidators being like Scraggy and that fucking dog.
Oh, yes, dude, Sandile has nothing on Scraggy.
Mastiff? And it's got nothing on Mastiff as well. Mastiff has got like an extra 100 base stat total on it or something stupid.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like, what's Sandile? Like 270 and Mastiff's like 340 or 350 or something like that. And so Scraggy. So, like, Sandile had to go down. And it is much more on par with Shinx and and Ekans. They're all about 260 to 280 or something like that. So
Jesus Christ, what a Okay, I'm assuming Mastiff got drafted. Okay, so we'll be discussing that later. I just saw its stats.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I had Mastiff in a different draft league. I ended up taking over a coach that dropped out, and I got to make all new picks, and I had fucking Mastiff, and that thing was my kill leader. It's ridiculous, man. And look at its coverage. Coverage is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Like play rough, psychic fangs, all the dark moves. I could terror whatever I wanted, so that was good as well. Yeah, it's just stupid coverage, and I use Trailblaze a lot on it too.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff there. Yeah, we'll tackle that when we get to the team with it.
Yeah, I don't know who actually drafted it, but good on them, fuckers. And then Tarantula. Tarantula's got an okay move pool. I like Spider Ops in Draft League, because its move pool is just it's just phenomenal in terms of like being able to support shit. Tarantula, what's its BST? So it's 210, so it's fucking bad. But like circle throw, first impression, knock off, leech life, lunge, like it's offensive. It's got
struggle punch,
struggle bug,
like,
sucker punch, feint,
like string shot.
Yeah, like its move pool it doesn't get U-turn, I think. No,
I can't see it learning U-turn.
No, I know Spider Ops does, but like it's like offensive support move pool. So it's like, good luck fucking taunting me, and then you just like knock shit off. You fucking circle throw it. You phase it out. You drop its special attack. You drop its physical attack. You drop its speed. You got priority moves. You're breaking protect. Like I just think, as a tier 4, regardless of what league you're in, Tarantula and Spider Ops are fucking phenomenal. Just for their move pool, not for their stats or their typing. That's so bad. But just having Insomnia as well, it's like, who's got the fungus?
Yeah, I was going to mention Insomnia. Sleep immunity
is just good.
Quite good.
Yeah.
I think it might be less impactful because I don't think anyone grabbed fungus.
No, I think you're right.
But still having it nice because we have seen some sleep powder Pokemon go, and maybe some cheeky scoundrels that might throw Sing on the team.
Yeah.
Good to cover for it.
He's got the best singer though. Happini.
I'm sure.
All right, let's tier this. I don't think just that Grookey Drifloon mode is just phenomenal, and the more I looked at the team, the more I like this team. It just had so much. I fucking did it again. I tried to move it on the OBS.
Oh, for God's sake!
When will he learn? Fucking boomers, man.
He never learn.
So I think with this one, I think I'd like to put it in A as well.
Yeah, I think A is good. I was gonna pitch A.
Yeah, I think it's it was one of those teams. The more I look at it, it was like looking at those 90s Magic photos where you look at it and you just see something pop up in the background and it just keeps happening. I think it's like it's one of those a boomer moment talking about the 90s.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're moving on to possibly the best team ever.
The worst team, D, skipping it. All right, so now we have Hungry Hippo.
Hungry Hippo's team. And we got Hungry Hippo and a decent team. This is my team. So I got Nosepass, Gothita, Snivy, Fuecoco, Mudkip, Igglybuff, Grubbin, Cubfu, Ducklet, Diglett, and Dreepy. What do you think? What do you think, Masto? Please.
D, we're moving.
Okay, D and move on.
So there's some very strong options here, right? Like having 3 trappers. One overall, one for grounded stuff, one for Steely Boys. Definitely not terrible. Got some got a decent fake out option in Gothita. I don't know if you have a second one. I think it's just Gothita.
I don't. That's my only option, and only sort of like, I don't have redirection or anything like that either. So it is. I think Gothita's going to be taking a lot of the load in support from that from that sort of position.
Yeah. I haven't done too many drafts with the Babbies of Nose Pass legal, but Nose Pass looks like it could be very threatening because you've got that naturally high defense.
I think it's got the highest like single stat in the draft league. What's a Penny's HP? It's only like 100 or something, isn't it?
Penny's HP isn't high. Where like Nose Pass defense is like 140 or something.
Yeah, 130 or 135. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's really high.
Unfortunately, it's backed up by a base 30 HP.
See, thankfully that's fine because like your EVs go like a long way in that for your HP bulk.
100%.
To the point where you won't always need Eviolite on the Nose Pass.
No, that's what I figured as well. Just being like base 135, going up against shit that has like base 70 attack. Like, I probably don't need to slap Eviolite on it. So that gives me options to run some cool shit. I've already thought about some cool shit I want to run on it. But Snivy, I've seen people pop off with Superior. So I thought Snivy would be like a pretty good pick just to deter.
Yeah. I think you've got some good synergy with Snivy as well.
Yeah.
The main ones that glare in front of me are the Mudkip and the Diglett, for obvious reasons, but I won't say those in case, you could be cooking with some stuff and I want to spoil all the plans.
But I got Perish Trap, man. What a fucking degenerate piece of shit I am.
That's true. No, that's true.
But this
yep.
It was an afterthought. It's like, I'll just grab a Perish Song user from tier 4. And so this team definitely does not have the tools to have an effective Perish Trap mode. Things like multiple fake out options, lots of pivoting, that sort of stuff. Intimidate. All those things are quite nice. So this is more of an afterthought where I thought, I need tier 4s. So I was looking at this, Azurill, and I was looking at Igglybuff, Azurill, and Swablu. Fucking Ollie gave me his picks for tier 4, and he put Swablu down there, so I was like, alright, I won't be a complete degenerate. And then there was like this fucking cunt that wanted Azurill. Was like, I want Azurill all the time.
That's true. We'll get to them. Don't worry.
So I was like, fine, you have Azurill. I hate you anyway. But Grubbin, I was actually surprised by base 300 in tier 4. I was not expecting that from a fucking Grub. And
yeah, not gonna. Grubbin and Ducklet actually surprised me when. Because I picked all my tier 4s early because, when I got to that point the draft, like everyone needed tier 4s. I'm just going to grab the rest of mine now. Like, screw it.
Yeah.
Looking through some of them, I'm just like, man, Ducklet's actually pretty solid for a tier 4. So.
Yeah. So I was thinking probably if there is another season, Rookedee's in tier 3. I'd probably switch Ducklet and Rookidee, and put Ducklet in tier 3 and Rookidee in tier 4. I just think Ducklet's options are better. So there's my Tailwind. I've got a Trick Room, and I've got the Icy Winds and the Electro Webs and all that sort of stuff as well. But probably not the strongest team, but I just went Nose Pass and then sort of moved from there. I didn't have a plan. So
Nose Pass with comfort.
Yeah. So I think realistically, I got pretty good typings, but I think maybe either low A or high B would probably be where I put my team.
Yeah, that seems fair.
So,
low A probably seems alright for now.
Yeah.
And then.
Alright. Oh fuck.
Sort of like.
There we go.
You've done it again, haven't you?
No, I did. I didn't bring up the tier list as I was moving shit around. Fucking remember, I got a spastic brain, man.
Yeah, true.
All right, let's move on to our next pick, our next coach, which is
Hungry Hippo.
Hungry Hippo. What's he got? He's got he's got some cool picks. Oh, you stupid fucking thing. There we go. So he's got Yanma as his tier 1. He's probably got one of the best, if not the best, Intimidator, and Scraggy from tier 2. Piplup from tier 3. Fennekin.
Piplup's tier 2, dude.
Sorry, Piplup from tier 2. Fennekin and Frigibax from tier 3. Pichu and Surskit from tier 4. And then his free picks being tier 2 Trico, tier 3 Varoom. Who is it? Anyway.
3 Sandygast and 3 Fido, I think.
Yeah. So, this team has Yanma. Okay, we lied again. This is the fastest Tailwind without Prankster or Gale Wings.
Yeah.
Base 95. It is also the highest base stat total of any Pokemon on the tier list. So my sort of cutoff was anything below 400 base stat total was legal, and then I also put some of those higher BST Pokemon to the vote. So we did get rid of Vullaby and we did get rid of Porygon.
Thank Christ!
And I think the Terra division got rid of those two plus Mudbray as well.
Yeah, they got rid of Mudbray as well in the Terra division.
Yeah. So again, really good spread of speeds, 15 to 95. Pretty much everything in between as well. Nothing in the 30s, nothing in the 80s, but there isn't a lot in 80s anyway in Little Cup.
I think the rest of them, it goes from like 40 to 70. So outside of those two, every other speed tier is within the 40 to 70 range.
Yeah.
So like there's a good peak. There's like a good like peak on both ends, and then just like everything else sort of sandwiched in around that similar speed cluster mark, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like you can work with that for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So has he got a Trick Room setter? Does Fennekin get Trick Room? That would. Oh, I think it does. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it does. I think that's what Ryan used as his Trick Room setter last season with his Hippopotas. You're the data guy. Go have a look.
I'm having a look now. Yeah, Fennekin lends Trick Room, so that's the option.
So it's not...
I don't think Sandygast does, but I'll quickly check that now.
Yeah,
keep rolling.
I don't think it does either. So like, not the best Trick Room setter because it does have that high speed, which means it's going from somewhere, and it has got a pretty good special attack. So obviously, it's lost bulk there to make up for that. So not a great Trick Room setter, but it's still he's got it. And then he's got like Scraggy and Sandygast and shit, which would work really well in Trick Room. I had Varoom last season. That thing was fucking cool. Only gets one usable ability in Overcoat.
Oh, yeah, because the other slow start.
So it's like...
Overcoat's phenomenal, though.
Reggie Giga Chad. So, yeah, I rate Reveroom. And it's just such a good fairy killer as well. Like, fairies can't do shit to it.
Yeah, fairies can't do a thing into Reveroom.
In terms of core, like, he's got flying, electric, and ground. He's got steel, dragon, and fairy. He has got dark. He hasn't got psychic, but you've got ghost, dark, ghost, and he hasn't got fighting, so he hasn't really got that one.
He's got Scraggy.
Oh fuck yeah, he's got Scraggy. That's the dark and fighting in one.
True.
And I'm a fucking spanner. So yeah, I quite like this team. Fake out support, yes. Scraggy. That's gonna be
Scraggy and Pichu are the two fake out supports.
Pichu, of course, yeah. And so Pichu's gonna also support sort of the Yanma, potentially the Piplup as well with that Lightning Rod ability.
Lightning Rod.
Yeah.
Very key with Surskit as well.
Yep. Oh yeah. And Fennekin, I actually saw Ryan pop off with sort of Magician a few times last season, which was pretty cool.
That's cool. I rate that.
Yeah. You don't really want to bring Intimidate into this team because Piplup get the old reverse sweep going there. So Frigibax and Scraggy can sort of, and Varoom and even Fido to an extent, can sort of just do their thing a bit more comfortable with that Piplup potentially
acting as a deterrent.
Yeah. Also going for a similar strat as yourself and me.
But, yep.
Yeah. So Hippo's pretty smart like that. Using those sort of strategies as well.
And catching on the Australian trend.
Yeah.
Well, as you do.
We're better than the US, so fuck them. Yeah, I actually really rate this team. Yeah, let's go over to have a look at our...
Yeah, I think with the exception of like probably Surskit, I actually really like the team a lot.
Yeah. And like Surskit still...
Surskit probably has its uses.
Yeah. And I guess in terms of typing, it doesn't really add anything, does it? Wonder what he could have got better there. I'm sure if something like Dreepy was still on the board, that would probably not be a two... Oh, no, he's got Frigirbacks. No. Anyway, I'm sure there's something that he could pop in there. Like, there's plethora of normal types. Maybe you could have put a normal type in there or something.
Yeah, like maybe something like... I think the best one is probably, Hoot Hoot, maybe?
Oh, yeah, Hoot Hoot could be good, because it can still take advantage of that sort of lightning rod shenanigans.
Yeah. Tier 4 at the moment is a bit of a... you don't really get to pick anything grand from there anymore. A lot of the quality stuff there definitely went to teams.
Yeah. So, in terms of his team, I think he actually had a lot more combos that are better than mine, but not as good as Toxic's. And I think Yanm is going to be quite brilliant. I think just at 95 base speed and speed boost, or what's its other ability? The thing that doesn't let it miss shit, or reduces or increases the accuracy.
Compound Ice.
Yeah, Compound Ice. So I'm going to move Nose Pass down to tier B because we're getting quite a full tier A. I think that's quite appropriate. I quite like this Yanmar team. It's not quite like Toxic's. The more I looked at it, the more I saw. This one, I kind of felt like I was seeing a lot, I think, of what it had to offer off the bat.
Yanma also gets Frisk. Not as good as the other two, but yeah, it's hidden, so...
Oh, there we go.
Can reveal some stuff, it's nice. It gets stuff like Faint as well, so...
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. That's such a good one. And
75 special attack to back with the 95 speed. So...
Yeah. Imagine just slap a specs on this thing and it's going to be chonking shit.
Oh, it's also got a 65 attack stat, and it lets Swords Dance. So there's some usable tools on the physical side as well. Leech Life probably being the main one.
Yeah. I'd like to see what he can get going with Trico. Because he hasn't... obviously he could, absorb Bold, but Aqua Jet into it or something like that. But it'd be interesting to see what he can get going with if he can do something with Trico Unburden. Sandy Gast as well. He's got a couple of Aqua Jet options. Maybe that's why he wanted the Surskit as another Aqua Jet option.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It doesn't get Intimidate, does it? That's just Masquerade.
That's just Masquerade.
Yeah.
Surskit gets, I know it gets Swift Swim. Maybe he gets a hidden ability too. It should do, right?
Surely. Not always. Anyway, it's Surskit.
Rain Dish. Yeah.
Rain Dick. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next team, which is
should be Toby.
It should be Toby. I want to kiss this man on the mouth, right? He got. How do you pronounce it? Zorua.
Hisuian form. The one with 3 immunity form.
Turtwig and Poplio as his tier 2s. Shinx and Starly as his tier 3s. I know Staraptor's his favourite Pokemon. So is... what's it called? Alcremie?
Yep.
So he's got Milcery and Tyrogue. And then his final picks are tier 1 Cranidos, tier 2 Torchic, and tier 4 Snom, and tier 4 Lechonk. He did have Slackoff, but he traded that for Snom, and I think that is a better option for him as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, speed tiers. Again, not super spread out. They're all quite closely clumped together.
A lot on the slower side.
But he does not have a trick room option. I'm not seeing a trick room, right?
I'm also I'm also not seeing a trick room option. Milcery doesn't get it. I don't think Zorua gets it.
No. And
nothing else gets it, which is it's something.
He has the strategy again.
Yeah, running theme. If fingers are put down on that.
Yeah, jeez, Australians rule. So Zorua, it won last season. The Hisuian form, it just did so much fucking damage, man. And like, you want to attack what's in front of you, but you can't safely. So I think Zorua as Cranidos is pretty good, especially if there's a big fighting type on the other opposing team.
Like they're just licking their chops to hit a fighting move into Cranidos, and it's just not.
I would love to see a psychic type trick room setter here, and so.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think it might be tough with Cranidos to be disguised as, right? Because you got to think about the abilities. You got to be paying attention because Mold Breaker will pop up. So if it's only so you've got to keep the eye on that one. Especially with Illusion for like a lot of these main ones being like Intimidate on Shinx, or like Mold Breaker Cranidos, or I think that's it for all the stuff that just pops up actually. So
yeah,
not bad.
I actually rate Tyrogue as a tier 4.
That makes one of us.
Like, just get Fake Out, Helping Hand, and Pathetic Priority moves, which, if you do want to go down the weakness policy path, it is quite useful.
Yeah, sure.
What's its abilities? Can you...
Tyrogue.
Yeah.
You get Steadfast.
Lame.
I don't think this thing gets Inner Focus. Guts and Vital Spirit. That actually ain't too bad.
Okay. I didn't realize it
Vital Spirit.
I didn't realize it got
Vital
guts.
Spirit didn't. Yeah, I didn't either.
There we go. Flame Orb Fling. That was I had Makuhita last season, and I ran that a few times. Flame Orb Fling Makuhita.
Yeah, but this thing being tier 4, it doesn't learn Fling.
Lame.
Its coverage comes down to normal moves, fighting moves, Bullet Punch, and Bulldoze. And Feast. So.
Rip.
And I suppose Rock Slide. So limited, but.
And it's 35 across the board, isn't it, in terms of stats?
Yeah, 35 across the board for a 210 total.
Yeah, I just think like a tier 4 Fake Out Mon, they're hard to come by. I don't think there were very many. There's that Pichu. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So in terms of like Fake Out value, like that's probably what it's offering the team. Has the Tailwind in Starly, but really I feel like this team wants a Trick Room setter. Like,
I think having one would definitely be nice.
Yeah, but then you got to think like, what are you gonna get rid of?
And you got to think like what tier can even like set Trick Room for you, because I don't think there's any left in like tier 4.
No.
So you'd be having to look to like trade up for a Trick Room setup, which might not be worth it.
Yeah, I'd probably be looking at like I like Shanks, but I'd probably look at getting rid of Shanks and getting a Trick Room setup.
Because it might need to be like a bundle of trades you might need to make.
Yeah.
The Trick Room setter in tier 3 is what, like Litwick, that I think still free. I don't know if there's many others.
Yeah.
Like Execute's probably the other. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think this team really wants Trick Room. But yeah, at least it has Tailwind. It's not the fastest Tailwind, but it's a cheap Tailwind that can...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it gets Reckless, doesn't it? Is it Reckless?
I actually don't know for Starly because
Starly,
its abilities are different to Staraven's to Raptor because they both get reckless.
I think it's just
Starly gets it. Yeah, it's just the main ability.
Yeah, so it fucks. I remember it fucking last season. It just clicked Brave Bird. It's like, oh, you resist this? That's cute. Dead.
Yeah, just sort of bound on it, just Brave Bird double lich. Call it a day, even like.
Yeah. So I think at least
good little noob.
At least he's got that going for him. Yeah, I just want Trick Room, man. I just want Trick Room so bad. In terms of sort of tier 4s, like I think Snom's alright value. Like it can do some things, but Lechonk it actually got really good coverage. It's got that old normal type syndrome. I've actually saw a few singles matches where a dude brought an Eviolite Lechonk as his Roaring Moon counter, and it fucking O-code Roaring Moon with Play Rough. Isn't that the stupidest thing you've ever fucking heard in your life?
That is pretty funny. Yeah, Lechonk. Lechonk gets some great abilities.
Yeah.
Like having Aroma Veil, like especially like with the Trick Room setup, you're able to like find one.
Is that the one that stops taunt and shit?
Yeah, it protects itself and its allies from attacks that limit move choices. So that's like taunt, that's encore.
Yeah.
Anything else like that, I'm not sure on the full extensive list, but I guess something to keep an eye on when preparing for it, because that can be active just on switching.
Yeah. All right. So I think in terms of where I'd place this team, I think it's probably going to be B or C. How do we think? I think it's probably worse than my team, but Ollie's got lots of type overlap and sort of lacks total cohesion. This team seems to lack an appropriate speed control for sort of its speed tiers. So I think it's around about Ollie's. They've both got a similar, like a deficit, but in a different way. I guess the fact that Ollie has Follow Me probably places it a little bit higher.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
this one.
But still,
this one's tough.
It's still definitely not a team. It's still definitely not a team to sleep on, though.
I think every team's going to sort of be able to give every other team a run this season. Yeah. So I've put it at the moment between me and Ollie in Tier B. Tier B. Okay. Back to who we got next. We've got 2 more teams, I think. Toby. No, we've got 3 more teams. We have Shitstodon. Oh, there's that Azurill. What a fuck.
Oh, what an absolute garbage stain of a team.
Fuck, I hate this guy.
I suppose we'll take 2 minutes of our time to get it over. We've ripped the Band-Aid off.
All right, you go through your team.
All right, so Tier 1, we've got Ellie Kid. Tier 2, we've got Squirtle and Stunky. Tier 3, we have Golett and Charmander. Tier 4, we have Azurill and Chingling. And then our free picks, we have Rockruff from Tier 4, Chikorita from Tier 3, Noibat from Tier 3, and Riolu from Tier 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. The end. Finn. That's it. We're done.
Finn, no revealing any text.
I will reveal everyone else's text, but mine are secret.
What's Ellie Kid's offenses like? What's its attack and special attack like?
I think it's 65 apiece.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and back to the 95 speed, which is pretty nice just to, have existing.
Yes. Tied second fastest in the tier, in the sort of format.
Yeah.
Squirtle. Yeah. I'm a big Squirtle fan. I had that season 1. It's just it just fucking
we like Squirtle.
It just does whatever you fucking want it to do. Like, do you want it to be bulky and support with Fake Out and Flip Turn and Life Dew, or do you want it to do damage with Shell Smash or Scarf Water Spout or some shit like that? Like, it's just such a good Pokemon in this format. I'm kind of disappointed that you got it, but in saying that, like,
No,
it just meant I got Gothita instead. Was it your second pick?
yeah, Scott was picked to 100%.
Yeah, so you have the strategy as well. Correct.
Yeah.
Stunky.
Yeah.
Stunky's is such a good typing.
Yeah, Stunky I picked up super late because I was looking at it going, I really want a poison type, but I also really want a dark type, and I was thinking about we might not be able to get our mascot pick because we wanted to cater for it.
Yeah.
But then I saw Stunky just chilling at tier 2. I was like, well, I still got one of those slots free. We'll give him a nice little home here.
Well, Alolan Grimer won last season, so maybe you'll get the dub season 3 with the Poison Dark run back.
Huge. Yeah, surprisingly good move for him. Actually, like,
yeah,
I was pretty shocked by it after I like looked into it.
Yeah.
And I can
offensive.
It's quite fast as well.
Yeah, offensive stats across the board. Is it like middling? Offensive, pretty decent bulk.
Its attack's fairly high. Its bulk is a bit mediocre.
Okay, what's its attack stat?
I'm quickly throwing it up now. 63.
Oh yeah, that's pretty decent for the format. Okay,
yeah.
So sort of not like what Skuntank is. Skuntank seems to be a bit more bulky and a lot less offensive relative to its format.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some real cool things you can do with Stunky, especially the fact that you have that poison typing means it has access to some really cool sort of supportive moves. Golett, I had that season 1. That thing's fucking cool.
Yeah, Golett to look champ. We're happy to have Golett because I think a good ground type's nice and a good ghost type is also really nice as well.
Yeah. And with that ability and just throwing out dynamic punches. Fun times for all, except for your opponent, because they hit themselves in confusion fucking again. But no, it hits hard and it's decently bulky, and its typing's really cool. Charmander hits hard in Sun. If only you had some way to prankster Sunset. Oh fuck.
Oh damn. Charmander is also like the only thing, like, after wrapping it up, is going, damn, this could have been something else.
Yeah.
But I think the stuff that I prioritized at the time was more valuable to it. So
I think I agree.
We'll make Charmander.
So we'll
make Charmander do work.
You got the Azurill run back. How good?
My son is back.
Your son is back. Ready for some banded facades. Does he get double edge?
No, he gets body slam.
Ooh, does it get any changes to its moveset this generation compared to last?
He learns a luring voice.
Is that it? Ooh.
I don't know too much of it, like, extensively, but from last season, Banded Body Slam did 65% to Eevee like Poipole and paralyzed it, so I'm ready to take on the world.
Then we got Chingling. I had Chimecho in my last season of Great Lakes Draft League. And I didn't bring it a whole lot, but when I did bring it to matchups, it fucking did work. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you go with Chingling this season. Assuming it gets some of the cool moves that Chimecho gets, like Wrap and Snarl and all that good shit. I actually have never looked at its move pool.
It learns Wrap. It doesn't get Snarl.
Okay.
It gets Recover, T-Wave, Taunt, Helping Hand, like Psych Noise, Knockoff, Icy Wind.
Gets all the grass moves.
Like, it just gets a lot.
It does get a lot.
Gravity Hypnosis, gets your Trick Room.
Charge Beam. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, with like a 65 special attack, which isn't terrible, and then like decent bulk as well, with an immunity built in with Levitate.
Yeah.
It's like so it's something handy to spam with Gauntlet and decent synergy there.
And that's your Trick Room setter, yes, and then Noibat being your Tailwind setter, plus you've got all your Icy Winds and Electro Webs in between. Now that's pretty good. Chikorita, tier 3. I think it's more because of its BST that it was in that tier. Didn't really want to put any of the starters in tier 4.
I got some ideas of Chikorita, so
yeah, I'm sure it does it. I don't know how much you want to reveal, but I'm going to see if it gets a particular move. It does not. It doesn't get Pollen Puff. I know the.
No, it doesn't. I wish it got. It gets heal. It gets heal pulse.
Oh, does it? That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it gets heal pulse. So it's got good supportive options. Like it gets you dual screens.
Yeah, yeah.
It also gets like Sword Dance, like Trailblaze, so I get some offensive tools as well.
Yeah,
it could be alright.
Yep.
Especially compared with the fucking cat in the room, which is Riolu. The elephant in the room, I should say.
Like grass and normal is okay, sort of coverage across the board. In terms of its physical moves.
Yeah. I'm pretty okay with it personally.
Yeah. Awesome. So where do we rank your team? Last? Yeah. Okay. Fuck you.
Yeah, valid. We didn't even talk. We didn't even talk about Riolu that much outside of this prankster things.
It also does inner focus things, right?
It does also do inner focus things. Base 70 attack.
Does it get
can still?
Does it get CC? Hmm? Does it get CC?
Sure does.
Fuck yeah, because there's some that don't.
It gets Howl and Swords Dance.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets the options across the board. We can do some copycat nonsense too.
Mm-hmm. And coaching. Don't forget them prankster coaching.
Oh, yeah, the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
It's a quick guarder too.
Oh, that's good.
So.
Yep.
They're handy into like opposing fake outs and stuff that could come out.
I believe.
And some decent coverage options too.
I believe it has feint as well.
Yeah, it does.
Look, it's good seeing Riolu not next to a Calyrex Ice Rider, just doing sort of coaching nonsense. It'd be good to see it, fucking just click close combat and something and KO it. So I think it'll be good to see what Riolu does this season. It didn't do Flash Hot last season on the other Australians team. Not my Australian, not this Australian, different Australians team. So you better do good with it. All right. Oh, we haven't tiered you yet.
We don't have to do that. We can just skip and move on.
So we just put you straight into tier F, right?
All right.
See? Done. No. Realistically, I think we're looking at S. You have Fake Out, you have Redirection, you have solid Trick Room Setter, you have solid Tailwind Setter, you have a very vast amount of typings across the board.
I covered my bases as best as I could with the tools I was given.
100%.
That's basically how I'll sum it up.
You're revisiting Rockruff as well. And in terms of speed tiers, like 20 to 95, like very well spread out sort of speed stats. So I think I'm pretty happy. Like this is a very balanced team. There's lots of bulk, there's lots of offense, there's lots of support. So I think in terms of teams, I am quite confident in putting this in the S tier.
Oh, huge. The honor.
Just kidding. C tier, fuck you.
I got him.
All right. Two more teams. We got Phoenix with the Pembroke Palafins. Guess what? Palafin's not legal. This is my week one opponent. So what's he got? He has the Vulpix Alola.
Let's break it down, guys.
I should probably look at it. He's got Chimchar, Wattrel, Cubfu, Sandshrew, Beldum, not Sandshrew Alola, just regular Sandshrew.
Cantonian Sandshrew.
Beldum, Flittle, Froakie, Poltergeist, Relaw, and Smoliv. So, Hail. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. So he's definitely got the Hail mode there with the Cubchoo and the Alolan Vulpix. Like, I guess Alolan... He probably could have... I can kind of see why you got Sandshrew. Like, just having a ground type. One thing I've always found with draft leagues, if you don't have an immunity electric type, then they're pretty free to sort of fuck you over.
You got Wattrel.
But then he's got Wattrel, so yeah. I think... How good would Alolan... He could combine Cubchoo, Sandshrew, and Beldum for just Alolan Sandshrew and then have 2 slots open.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah. So you could have got like 3 Pokemon that covered those roles, and yeah. Anyway, but it's still having a solid ground type isn't too bad of an option. Flittle for tier 4 always seems pretty good. Base 75 speed with that speed boost ability and that stored power. I think is really nice. Froakie, he's can definitely do damage. I've been doing calcs with it. It can it kind of fucks. Protean just makes it that little bit more fucky.
Extra little kick.
Extra little fucky. Nice speed as well with 71 in terms of Little Cup. A lot of seem to be clumped around 60 to 65. So I think if you can get anything over 70, even if it's just a few mons, I think you're in a pretty good position in terms of sort of speed tiers. He's not super spread out, like 30 to 75 is his spread. So I think you can kind of get away with running some, if you speed creep one thing, you speed creep all the things. I'm a huge fan of Poltergeist. I had that in a draft league as my it was a tier 7, and the fact that like it's a tier 1 here, obviously because there's a Little Cup, but Hospitality, he kind of has the bulk for Hospitality to do some work, just because he's got like the Aurora Veil, but I don't think he has a lot of sort of bulky options to really take advantage of Hospitality. I think probably the best thing to take advantage of it is the Flittle, like a Calm Mind, speed boost,
like a
stored power set. Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing to take advantage of the Hospitality. Also, he's got lots of type overlap. That's that it's bound to happen with a weather team of any kind, because what goes fast in rain, fucking water types. What goes fast in snow, ice types. But like Smoliv, I guess it is a tier 4, but like, was there something that he potentially could have got earlier on that would have been better there? I don't even know what Relaw does. Like, I don't think it sets Trick Room. Unlike
Relaw, I don't believe sets Trick Room. No.
Yeah, so I don't really know what Relaw does. Does it get telepathy? Maybe you could do some like telepathy nonsense. Maybe like discharge next to it. Oh, he's got Disquake. There we go. That's why he got Sandshrew.
Oh, with the Rotral. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, and potentially with Relaw, if it gets the telepathy, that could also be an option for him there. I think everything, like a lot of the options here just feel, and I bet you he fucking bops me anyway next week, but outside of like Poltergeist, everything just feels kind of mediocre. Like nothing really is blasting you with speed, blasting you with offense, blasting you with a whole lot of stats. This team feels very stat deficient.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe a bit as well.
Because like Vulpix, it's got shit stats, but its ability was kind of what gets it going. Like Chimchar's got the starter stats, Wattrel's an early route, and its BST's not great, but it's just got like a good speed and good abilities. Cubchoo's got a alright BST, like Sandshrew, Beldum, we're getting mid. Like I just feel like there's a lot of teams that have big stat Pokemon relative to the format, and I feel this team may struggle with a bit of that. But it has Hail, so there's that. In terms of ranking,
despite it being like I think the only weather team that we have, I think it's at the moment just at face value on the weaker end.
Yeah.
Like Poltergeist is exceptional, but
like
with that, when you're sort of like counting, like you've got like your 2 tier 1s, And then you've got like your Cubchoo, your Beldum, your Rellor, and your Smoliv. Like Order Speak to Fire.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, big fire weakness.
It's rough, yeah.
So maybe he ends up running Heat Proof on Poltergeist a lot more than Hospitality. Maybe that was sort of the plan.
Maybe.
So what I'm noticing with these B tiers at the moment is like there's like one real sort of deficient area, Ollie's team really lacks sort of types and a real sort of core strategy. Yeah. Toby's really lacked sort of speed control that worked with the Pokemon that he had. Phoenix's team really lacks sort of stats that are usable, and I think my team sort of lacks support for things like setting up Trick Room and Tailwind and that sort of stuff. So support to get speed control going. So that seems to be sort of the premise for B. So if we come across a C tier team, it's just going to be, this team fucking just is shit. There's nothing good about this team. It's redeeming quality. It has pretty colours. It's probably about what we're looking at for C tier. All right, we got one more team, and then I'm going to bed because I'm fucking old. We got Guardians team. Oh, there's the Mastiff.
Yeah, I was gonna say we finally got to the Mastiff.
Oh, so we got the other Perish Trap team, Ghastly and Trapinch.
Yep.
So tier 1 Ghastly, tier 2 Mankey and Mastiff, tier 3 Wooper and Quaxley, tier 4 Ralts and Tadbulb, and then his free picks being tier 1 Ponyard, tier 2 Trapinch, and tier 4s in Roly-Coly and Applin. What are you thinking about this team?
Two very phenomenal dark types.
In Mastiff and
Ponyard.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 Defiant users. So who's bringing Intimidate into this team? I guess Trapinch has that base 100 attack, so I think the more you can... And Quaxley's got Moxie. So the more you can sort of deny Intimidate, the better those two Pokemon can do to sort of either go hard in Trick Room or... sweet.
You got your two Defiant Mons. Trapinch also can run Hyper Cutter.
Oh, that is true.
So it can keep its attack set healthy at the cost of trapping, which sometimes, people over prepare for trapping running Shed Shell. You can just invalidate that item.
Yeah, 100%. And so you're going against a potential trapping from Trapinch. How good's your Ghost type looking against Ponyard and Mastiff? And Ghastly. Yeah. Not very fucking good.
Yeah, not the best for most of them.
No. Trick Room setter, check. He's got Ralts. Tailwind setter, it's not there. So
I think that's fine. The team looks on the slower end for sure.
Yeah. So this thing, if it does get speed control up, it is going Trick Room. I guess that sort of makes it just a tad. Ghastly sets Trick Room too. So maybe just a tad easier in sort of the prepping for the team. You don't have to prep for things being in Tailwind, so you can sort of adjust that accordingly. Speed tiers 10 to 80, not bad, pretty spread out. Again, sort of like over that 75 mark is like the equivalent of what used to be base 100. That used to be the cutoff, but now that's thanks to Power Creep, that's kind of gone up a bit. But sort of 75 is the cutoff that you want your fast Pokemon at, and he's got 80. And Ghastly is phenomenal in terms of being able to do special damage, which this team is very physical. But then you just fucking dunk on shit with Ghastly as well. So Fairy looks phenomenal into this team until Ghastly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, then you've also got the Wooper as well. That, I guess, could do something against Fairies.
Pawniard hurt as well.
Oh yeah, steel types. There we go. So yeah, I quite like this team. It has a lot of fucking strong options that are just gonna punch holes in things. I think with how hard things like Ghastly, Mankey, and Mastiff hit, and Poniard as well because it's base 60. I do think Tailwind would suit this team a lot though, just because they're not the fastest. They're not the fastest things around, but they're still pretty fast. I think a Tailwind would be quite nice on this team. He does have the Icy Wind options, of course, but not as reliable as a Tailwind.
Again, there's definitely good. There's good Tailwind options that still that weren't drafted as well.
Yeah. What sort of tiers are they?
For something cheap, you've got Fast Tailwind and Wingull in that tier 4.
Oh, Wingull didn't get drafted?
Yeah, Wingull is an undrafted mon. I suppose for a little bit more spice, you've got your Combee and your Hoot Hoot.
Does Combee get Tailwind?
I'm pretty sure that's one of the 7 moves it gets.
Fuck, are you kidding me? I had it last season and I never clicked Tailwind. I didn't even know it had Tailwind.
I will double check it. And then in tier 3, I'm pretty sure Rowlet, I think, learns it.
Yeah.
And Rookie D would be the other one.
Yeah. So I definitely think he could drop if there is I don't think Roly-Coly offers a whole lot. I think maybe he could drop that and pick up the Wingull. Is Hoot Hoot still available in tier 4?
Hoot Hoot is still available. Scratch Combee, it doesn't learn it. I think it was a max airstream thing that Combee was able to do to boost speed. But yeah, Hoot Hoot's still available in tier 4 as well. I think Hoot Hoot's not the worst as well.
Yeah, and it's got tinted lens, right? So
yeah, tinted lens and Insomnia, 2 good abilities.
It doesn't care about your resistances. Yeah, I think a good move for this team would be drop that Roly-Coly and pick up Hoot Hoot or Wingull. Wingull obviously being one of the fastest Tailwind setters, but Hoot Hoot maybe giving you another sort of a more offensive option. It's still a bit slow, but I guess probably Wingull will be a good pickup because it's at base 85 speed, sort of spreads out his speed stat even more. Yeah, there we go. There's our one sort of tidbit. Guardian, fuck off Roly-Coly, get Wingull. But yeah, this team's gonna hit like a fucking freight train. But yeah, I think it's got some fast, frail options that I think would like fast speed control. But it also has a really good Trick Room mode. He's got Final Gambit Mankey next to Trick Room Setter, and has he got Fake Out? Has it got Fake Out or redirection?
I don't think so.
No, Fake Out or Redirection. So it could be a bit hard to set Trick Room up effectively, but Inner Focus Mankey with Final Gambit is definitely a thing. Yeah, so I think I'll place this team similar to Toby's, in the fact that say hi to Helen, everybody.
Hello, Helen.
Masto says hi. I think we put this team similar position to sort of Toby's in the fact that there is a lack of a speed control to sort of help out his main offensive mons. But it's still a decent team that's going to do a lot of damage and just kill things if you let it. All right, well, that's it. We're done. So we have I can't even remember the name of the teams, but I'll bring them up so I can have a look. So in our S tier teams, we got 2. We got Ryan's, aka Piano Guys, Schmoove and Shroomishes, and Mastodon's Great Neubat Brewing Co. Our A tiers, we have Wakeman and the Grand Rapid Gibbles. We have Toxic and the Tennessee Talon Flames. And we have, is it Hippo? Yeah, Hippo with the Lake Erie Wishy Washies. And then in B tier, we have Flamingo and his Kooparoo Crab Hammers. We have, who has the Vulpix? It's my
Phoenix.
My week one opponent. Pembroke Palafin. I'm prepared. And then we have Guardian and what's his team called? Why can't I find it? There it is. Guardian.
Gaia's Wrath.
Gaia's Wrath with the big Torterra. And we have Toby and his team, the Chicago Cub Foos. And finally, Ollie with his Durham Tauros.
The Durham
Tauros. All right, guys. Well, that's it. We're logging off. We did it.
Yeah, shit.
I just want to say a big thank you to Ryan, Raz, and Toxic for the help this season. I'm going to do this for Pallet Town at some point. I'll probably try and hit up Scalvin or Coco, and we'll go through the teams together. And yeah, any final words, Masto?
Not really. I suppose get keen for a good season. Should be some good fun.
Babies are back. Let's make babies fight to the death the way it should be.
Babies are back, baby.
All right, just remember, Masto's a cunt. Bye.